Hey guys, what's up? Rob Shoecraft here with Restore Fitness. Already sweating pretty bad. I have the fans turned off in here because it's loud. All right, so I'm going to review today my spot grips. My new spot grips, pretty new. I got them about a month ago. Full disclosure here, I got them from John from Spot Grips. John and TJ run Spot Grips, a relatively new company, and these are designed basically for safe and easy dumbbell and barbell, we'll talk about both, workouts, right? Sets. Everybody knows, I think that probably the thing to kick these things off was, you know, when you're doing a set of, let's say you want to do a set of seated overhead presses, right? And you gotta rock back, or any kind of press with dumbbells. You gotta rock back, throw them up, and get ready. And man, if you're doing like a killer set, I was doing dog crap a while back. I have to do 3 rest pause failure sets. And I was using like 90-pound dumbbells. I gotta tell you, I was probably burning, by the end of the second rest pause set, I was probably burning 2 reps just cleaning those suckers back up. Plus, you can run into some shoulder problems. There's some folks who will say, and I'm gonna get to a demo here in a second, I promise. Check, by the way, in the description. I'll try to timestamp when I play with the barbell, when I play with the dumbbells, etc. So if you don't want to hear me rant for too long, check the description. So, you know, there's some folks that'll say, like, if you can't, I think I heard Elliot, right? Yo, Elliot, saying, like, if you can't throw your dumbbells back and hit your set, you shouldn't be doing those dumbbells anyway. And I get that. There's part of me that gets that. It's just, you know, we can make another video for that sometime. But, you know, man, if you could do it, you could do it. Just get your freaking set in, do it safely, so you're not, again, burning reps, trying to get it in place, unless that's your thing, or risking a shoulder injury unnecessarily, when really, all you're really after is the press. That's my opinion anyway. I think that's probably the opinion of John and TJ. By the way, check out TJ's gym. Next time I go up to Cleveland, honey, just to let you know, we're going to stop by Brook Park. Check out I wrote it down here. Old school iron in Brook Park. Mutant on a Mission, they did a video on that. They didn't talk about the spot grips though, but that's why we're here. Okay, so I hit up John. I had him send me the spot grips. I asked him, I said, hey, could you send me something to play with? And I'll return them to you. And he said, just take them and keep them. I'm going to send you some factory seconds, okay? So these are some that they can't sell. I'll talk about the things I don't like about it. We'll get to there, the negatives. Again, check the description if you want to just jump right to it. There aren't many though. All in all, I love these things. I've been using them. I started off using them like, and again, I will demo it, but I started off using them obviously to get just with a critical eye. I want to see how they work, you know, see if I could break them, so to speak. But over the past 3 weeks, I've just been training with them. As I go to the gym in the morning, I take these things with me, I hook them up, get a couple stairs, and I love them. They're freaking great. They're so let me just show you how you use these things. So I'm going to show you with the dumbbells first, because that's probably what most people are going to use them for. By the way, these are these are little nylon straps. Very similar to the nylon straps I use for like the DIY loading pins. I'll link to that video if you don't know what I'm talking about. I love these things. These nylon straps, for those who don't know, will hold, I don't know, something like 3,000 pounds, give or take. So that's not too much to worry about. Okay, and then you got a carabiner, which is, honestly, the carabiner is probably the weakest link in this whole chain here. I think I'm just guessing, I think a carabiner like this will hold about 600 to 800 pounds. Just a guess, don't quote me on that, but most of them are around that. I'll talk about this in a second, just in case you're wondering what that's all about. It's a little flimsy thing here. These suckers are rated for, I believe, 2,500 pounds each. They each weigh 10 pounds, okay? That's pretty important. So if you're working with dumbbells, let's say you're doing incline presses with 80s, you might want to do 70s, okay? Now you do have 2 pounds of pull. So there's 2 pounds of pull in this thing coming up. So if you're entering some sort of like, I don't know if IPF has like a dumbbell press competition of some kind, you might want to, and you're using these, that'd be a very, very specific competition. But you might want to take that into, you have to work with I guess a net of 8 pounds more, right? Because you have 2 pounds on the way up for the pulley assistance, you have 10 pounds that these themselves weigh that you do feel, I mean, you will feel that extra weight. So adjust your dumbbells accordingly. They do work well, just for those who had questions, with the Iron Masters. Somebody was asking me, they work well with my Iron Master dumbbells. They do not work out of the box with power blocks. They work, I've tried these things with Hammer Strength, Iron Master, whatever the flip these dumbbells are, just your generic dumbbells that I have over there. How do you want to just get a quick little shot of it? There we go. Power blocks, I'm told you can get them to work, but you got to take the power blocks apart, which might void the warranty. How are we doing on time? I know we're
6 minutes in.
6 minutes in, that's not bad. Okay, which can void the warranty, but I'm told it is possible. And I don't know how you do it, but I'm told it's possible. If I get any more information on that, right? First I got to get a set of power blocks. If I get any more information on that, I will let you know. I'm told it's been done. I just don't know how to do it. It revolves some sort of disassembly of the power blocks themselves. Okay, by the way, as far as warranty goes, this is covered under a 2-year warranty. Okay, the spot grips. So what you saw, I just rest this. If you want to come in a little bit, I just rest this in this little groove here. The dumbbell handles, like I said, these are Iron Masters. It works totally fine, and it all operates on this little handle in here, right? So when I want to put these back up, I grip down the handle, bring it up, and they just hang there, right? You know, they're not going anywhere. So bring it up to about where I might want to start. We'll see how that feels. And of course, if you want to, usually what I end up doing is just start these where I want, and I just like lift up the dumbbell and put it in there. But it's up to you how you want to put it in there. All right, put that in there. Boom. Take this off. Now, one thing that's really cool. So let me just freaking show you. It's what are we? 7 minutes in now. I'm finally using these things. 8. All right. So I got these suckers facing out. Boom. I got them in the starting position. Right. I grip down on the handle, and we're good to go. All right. Nice smooth action. I've never had a problem. Let me go down a little bit further here. Well, that's a new one, right? If you can see, the reason I'm doing this is not to demonstrate that particular press. It's to show you that when you pull out, as long as you have enough weight on there, if you're using like a 45-pound bar for like the barbell, which we'll get to, I promise, it's a little light. But if you have some weight on there and you're going, let's say, because like, I was doing these in a hammer strength power rack, which I've reviewed recently. And sometimes the dumbbells will get in the way if you're right on the corner there. So what I did was I hooked it up to the pull-up bar that was out a little bit further, and I got down further. So I was way clear from the posts. And so it's got a little bit of an angle pulling at it, and the action was just fine. I never had a hang up, never had a snag. Never had a snag with these since I've had them. So they're great in that regard. So again, you grip the handles. So to get this thing to unlatch, you grip it, boom, do your thing. Let's say you're bombing out here. Right? Just let go, you're good. All right. Boom. Now one thing I will say for dumbbells, it feels good. All right, you got this little, can you come here? All right, so you got this little like rubberized grip here, and you got a rubberized grip on the bottom. I know something just fell off, we'll talk about that. You got this little rubberized grip on the bottom. They feel pretty good in your hand. Now, it does obviously add a little bit of circumference to the grip, so you got to keep that in mind. And it's not bad with the dumbbells. I haven't really noticed any difference in my performance. With the barbells, however, I'll talk about barbells when I talk about them. But just know sometimes when you're gripping, you do feel just a little, I felt like just a little, I have to kind of readjust, like, it's only happened like once or twice. Notice how much confidence I have these, I'm just sitting there, hanging over my head.
Just thinking that.
You will feel sometimes just a little weirdness in your grip, but honestly, that's been very, very infrequent. I've had many people use these in the gym. They all love them. It's funny when you watch them use it, they're like, you know, they have this like uncertainty in their eyes and they let go. And they're just like, oh, right, and they do their thing, and they put them up, and the best part is like right here, when they're done, they're like, you know, like they don't quite trust them, but you can trust them. They're great. Okay, so there's that. Oh yeah, so floor presses. You know, floor presses are a pain in the butt for dumbbells to get them in place. Won't take much imagination, but I'll show you. Okay, floor presses are a pain. You got to rock back on the floor. There's something particularly pain in the butt about those. By the way, these obviously work with seated overhead presses. It's the same exact action, just get it in place and do it. I've done these with inclines, I've done these with floor presses, I've done these with overhead presses, done these obviously with flat bench, all works well, okay? Let go. See, I mean, it's so much nicer. It really is. It's so smooth. Let go, you're good. All right, for dumbbells, which again is probably where most of people are going to buy these things. They're freaking phenomenal. I love them. Let's talk about barbells. Any questions, my dear? Anything I talked about that I didn't actually talk about?
I don't think so.
Because I am pretty good at doing that. Saying I'm going to talk about something and then not. Did I already mention price?
No.
Okay. Well, that's one thing. They're $500 on their site, last I checked. They're $540 on EliteFTS. I should have asked, but I didn't. I'm not sure. I don't. As far as I can tell, there was no difference in the product. Maybe EliteFTS marked them up a little bit. I'm not sure. That's their prerogative. But $500. Again, I was lucky enough to get them for free. I don't think this is a biased review. I've got to know John pretty well, though. He's a super cool guy. Haven't talked to TJ, but I'd like to someday, like I said, visit his gym. This is one thing I don't like about it. This is like pretty much the only thing I don't like about it. These little rubber pieces right here, they just snap on here. I don't even know what they're for. What are they for?
They're probably to protect the bottom of them if you set them on the ground.
Yeah, but you know.
I
like dinged up stuff.
Probably what they're for.
Anyways, I'm just taking them off. I don't use them because they come off. And I talked to John about that. I told him, like, just to tell you, I'm going to knock you on these for the rubber things. He said that they kind of toyed back and forth with gluing them, and they just ended up not doing it. Whatever. You know, I'm not paying $500 for rubber. But for those folks who do pay $500 and expect everything to work tip-top, you might have a problem with that. Just give me a heads up. Those things probably will come off, unless, of course, that is the reason why they're factory seconds. This is the only pair I have, so I don't know. Nothing to compare it to. All right. How are we doing on time?
13 minutes, 43 seconds.
In or left?
In.
Okay. Well, we got how much more?
About.
Before we have to get the girl.
How fast is your clock?
Don't worry about it.
Okay. Then I don't know. And I can't answer that
2 minutes,
question.
maybe?
Okay, so we have probably 7 minutes.
Okay, we can do that. We can do that. All right, somebody asked me, they said, Coop, and I have not seen Coop's review. Not that I'm like boycotting Coop or anything. I think he's a cool guy. I've watched a lot of his stuff. I just haven't watched a lot of YouTube lately. Coop did a review on these, I believe, or at least a demo or something. And somebody said, I like Coop's video, but he never showed barbells, right? And these things do claim to work well with barbells. And they do, but they don't. I'll explain. So you put it into place. Now, one thing that's kind of funky about these. If you're just expecting to go, put this in place with the barbell and hit it, no, it's not going to work. And to Spot Grip's defense, they do not say it will work that way. Right? The reason is because you're going to grip a hold of this thing, especially in squats when it's this funny position, especially if your shoulder mobility is jacked up like mine. It's going to be in this funny position, and the barbell's going to be all over the place. You're going to have this freaking thing on your back, and it's going to suck. So what they did was invented these cool little, really nothing to them. Well, I'm sure there was something to them. John's like, there was something to us. I spent like 45 days trying to develop these. You get these little extra, they call it what do they call it? It's Velcro. Okay, so you get
Hook
these
and
little
loop.
things. What?
Hook and loop.
Hook and loop. All right.
Velcro's a brand.
Okay. So what you do is, let me bring this up. This is like the second time I've edited this. I'm just going to level with you guys. I wasn't trying to be deceptive or anything, but I have used the barbell 2 times. One, totally incorrectly, and I was like, I don't know why they're selling this thing thinking it's a barbell. Works with barbells. I hit up John. I'm like, dude, what's up with these barbells? Like, how do I use this for a barbell? Because I can't work it. He sent me a video showing me how to put these Velcro straps on. So I went down, I followed the video, I did it, it worked great, and then I haven't done them since. So I had to sit here and screw with this thing because I couldn't remember how to set this thing up. So I got it now, in theory. So you take these straps, they come with them, it's not anything extra. You put them underneath, Velcro side up, so you get the furry side up. This little flap right here sits underneath there, so the barbell kind of pins that in place. Now we take, now we take this side, which is the Velcro side's underneath. It feeds through up underneath here, get real tight, take all the slack out, and then it connects underneath there. Okay?
Yay.
Yeah, freaking final. I suck at anything. I would consider this arts and crafts. I suck at arts and crafts. So if you suck at arts and crafts, just be prepared to suck for a minute.
It's like weaving.
It's weaving. Okay, so like I said, you want to put, I like to use the J cups, right? So I'm going to go ahead and drop these down. Okay? It's fixed in there, so this Velcro's not going anywhere. It's not going to keep the barbell from shaking. Somebody asked me to, I can't remember what I've said so far. Bear with me if I'm repeating myself. Somebody asked me, hey, could you use the barbell with a reasonable amount of weight to demo how these work with the barbell? So, the reason I haven't been using this with the barbell very often is because, quite frankly, I have access to like 30 million power racks, and I'd rather just use those because I have them. Now, I'm intentionally going to squat this using my Rogue S2 squat rack because I don't have spotter arms for it. So I want to show you that this could be a viable alternative to going and buying spotter arms if you already have this thing for the dumbbells, which again, if you haven't noticed, if I didn't say it already, I can't recommend them enough for dumbbell usage. So let me just show you what it's like to squat these using this. No safety arms. I haven't squatted in, I think, 2.5 weeks now. I kind of jacked my back up. I'm going to put this belt on. So I'm not going to, hopefully this is reasonably heavy enough for you, my friend. By the way, I appreciate all the feedback I got on Instagram regarding Instagram and YouTube. People had some great questions for these things. And this was one of them. Okay, so let me do it first, and then I will talk about it. You guys feel free to critique my squat. Do I have three plates on each side, right?
You do, yeah.
Okay, so let's say I go down.
You don't have a clip on the left and you're leaning low.
Okay. It's a darn good thing I have these things. Thank you, John and TJ. You potentially saved my life. But seriously, if you don't have the clips, or whatever, if you got a bomb out or something, these will save you.
Behind you on the floor there. There it is, behind you on the floor.
All right. Aren't you guys glad you sent these to me? Right? I trust these things. So the reason I don't, let me do another rep here in a second. The reason I don't love them for barbell use is because it just changes the dynamic, the specificity of the grip. You know, you gotta grip something. It's not that big of a pain or anything, but if you're like a powerlifter competing or something, I would probably recommend in safety arms or a power rack, unless you're doing like repetition stuff. Only because when you're going real heavy, you know, nearing your max, it's just, I think just those little changes, even in something as small as like, what is this, maybe quarter-inch grip change, can change the specificity of the rep. So it's just something to keep in mind. It's not a pain necessarily. It's just different enough that if your thing is being really good at the barbell back squat for, say, a competition or something, you're going to want to change. You're going to want to train, at least, you know, while peaking or whatever, toward by using just the barbell by itself and not something extra that you have to manipulate. That said, if you're just a general lifter, right, like really like myself, this is something you could easily get used to, right? It's just, this is how I back squat now, or this is how I press. I'm used to hitting this lever. So let me fail one here. So you want to get these in place too, by the way. That's in a comfortable position for your hands ahead of time. Oh, that's what the problem is. I didn't do that, so it was all cattywampus. So you see what I'm glad this is happening, because, you know, just know that you will have to align this ahead of time, get it just right, and then I'm talking to the camera, I'm all frustrated because I can't work the freaking Velcro. So it's not their fault, it's mine. So I didn't line up the grips first. This should be a better rep. I'll tell you what, I'll redeem myself on the first one and then fail on the second. So I'll go over the knee. Safe and sound, right? Pretty sweet. I mean, honestly, I trust this thing. Obviously, I've done this with 315. I'd feel safe doing this with 405 or 495 if I could do that right now. You know, so like I said, you just got to get used to training with these. Obviously, do it during your warm up, do it with lighter weight before you start like going for max attempts. All right, all in all, I think they're awesome. If you get the 500 look, you know, they're $500. You're either going to spend $500 on a specialty product like this, or you're not. If you got the $500 to spend on something, if you use dumbbell, I'm a dumbbell guy. If dumbbells are a big part of your training, you plan on training with them for the next 20 years or whatever, I would consider, it's easy for me to say because I got them for free, right? But I would absolutely consider investing $500 in them. They're very, very solid, man. I mean, I love them. If you guys have any questions, by the way, I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, I do all that crap with the hammock straps, right? You could probably, well, I don't know if I could press 315 like this, but especially since it's crooked. But you know, you could, you know, do those like henny press type stuff. Yeah. I don't know if I trust the S2 for that, honestly. Okay, anyways, that's it. I talked enough. We're gonna go pick up our dollar. If you guys have any questions, if there's stuff I missed, please let me know. And if I can't answer it, I'll hit up John and TJ, see if they can. We'll get back to you. We'll figure it out. Not that I don't get any money from this. I get free spot groups. All right. You guys have a great day. Subscribe, like, subscribe, and thank you very much.